Yo, what up? It's Aaron Moses, gang. This video is student Hollister employee got caught using water bottle and scammed to steal thousands. Huh! You about to put me on some game, cause I don't know how this could be possible. A water bottle? What was she scanning the water bottle and then refunding it to her account? I probably. Make sure you like this video before we get into it. Let's go.
This is 21-year-old Marie Alvarez. On April 23rd, 2025, Boca Raton police responded to a Hollister clothing store in reference to an employee caught in a scheme to steal merchandise. Officers learned loss prevention has conducted an investigation after receiving an anonymous tip on their ethics hotline. The investigation finds that Marie has taken at least...
So one of the employees was over there snitching, bro. She probably told one of the females that she thought was cool about the situation, trying to put her on some games so she could get a couple more dollars. And she got high one day and told her boyfriend about it, and he was like, who? Oh, that cute ass girl? And she was like, the cute ass girl? Oh yeah, I'm about to put this bitch in jail. My boyfriend thinks she's cute. It's over.
55 different items of clothing by hiding items in her water bottle and wearing items out of the store.
What? So you were hiding items in the water bottle? So simple. You gonna mess it up for all the other Hollister employees. Sneaking shit out in your water bottle. She probably went in her water bottle and saw she had a whole bunch of underwear in there and told on her. It was her in the pink. She thought it was her water bottle.
This is Marie. She has taken some merchandise over like the past year, I would say, and we've got that merchandise here. She was nice enough to bring it back to us today.
What? That was dumb.
More.
This whole pile?
Yes, sir. So it's 26 items valued at $750, $70 before tax. However, it is under in each separate occasion. She never took this all. Like, this is over an extended period of time.
This is weird because I definitely would have did that. I would have just quit my job and just got a new job and would have just had a warrant for a year, 2 years. That's what I would advise. But at the end of the day, bro, over the course of a year, I mean, I guess they could resell them on an Amazon website, or they could send it to one of those outlet stores where they sell stuff out of season. But a lot of that stuff they're not going to be able to resell because, number one, you wore them. Number two, they're out of season. That's the only two reasons. But they might be damaged, you know what I mean? But how old did they said she was 22? Yeah, she's stupid and not very criminal minded. So the thing about this is, bro, $760 worth of stuff. That's a lot of shit. That's a lot of items. And you came back to the scene of the crime the next day, bro. They were not gonna send the police to your house, unless this is Arizona. But they said it's Florida. All you would have had to do was tell your boyfriend what was going on, and I would have told you, oh, they said that? Well, you have two options. You can either go back to work and fight this case, or you could run. But at least you still have your clothes when you get out.
So if you guys wanted to go about it for a theft, then you can. I understand the state law, so if you guys need to handle it a different way, I understand as well.
This is a felony.
She did write us a statement explaining, like,
Lawyer.
what happened and, like, the why she took it, but there is other
she's dumb. She shouldn't have did that, bro.
stuff she was unable to
Right,
return,
'cause you
which
sold it?
the company will not prosecute on that because
Okay.
we don't have the merch, but...
Did you hear what this man just said? The only thing they could have did was fired her. Now her dumb ass is going to jail because They can't prosecute. Why? Because they don't have the merch.
The why she took it, but there is other stuff she was unable to return, which the company will not prosecute on that because
Why?
Okay.
we don't have the merch. But
We don't have the merch. So if she would have just came back the next day, not signed a written statement committing to a crime, the most they could do was fire her. And her record at the age of 22 would still be spotless.
Gotcha. And this, you found out all this
Stupid.
today, I guess, or? It's
we've
been
been
ongoing
conducting
thing?
an investigation.
Okay. Let me just read this real quick, and then your name is Marie. All right, I will talk to you just in a second.
In the meantime,
And if she would have just not came back the next day, she wouldn't have went to jail. She wouldn't have had a warrant. So either way, she would have been Gucci. But why would you give them the evidence? Why would you do that? All you would have to do was go home, wait 2-3 days, and call up to the local county jail and see if you have a warrant. Nothing.
never fill out our company trespass form. So like this is the one I was talking about.
That's all they would have got you for, trespassing.
Hollisters
Any locations.
are hereby trespassed from all Abercrombie and Fitch properties, including Abercrombie and Hollister for 2 years.
That's
If you
it?
do that, please just sign.
Now you're about to go to
All right,
jail
go ahead and just
for
stand
a
up for me in the
felony.
meantime. I'm just gonna put you in handcuffs and then just kind of explain to you what's going on, okay?
Little booty ass. This is dumb, bro. Her boyfriend and hers dumb. No, she got a boyfriend.
Oh, 4212.
Okay, you can have a seat.
And a white female, first name TV.
All right, so I'm gonna just read you your Miranda warnings, okay? Because obviously you're not free to go, and I got some questions for you. You have the right to remain silent, not answer any questions. Any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given. Any statement can and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand everything that I've explained to you?
Yes.
Okay. So I see that you've already written out a statement. Is that statement accurate? What you provided to your manager over?
All you had to say was no. I wrote that statement because I was afraid to lose my job.
Here?
Yes.
Okay. That was a lot of stuff on that list. Did you like keep a log of everything, like when you were stealing it?
She
or-
works there, bro. She has a good idea how much everything costs. I will say this. This title is clickbait, which is unfortunate because I'm going to have to copy and paste it so it goes in the algorithm a specific way. But this is not a felony. $750 is not a felony. If she would have bought $250 more worth of stuff, that would have been a felony. But like I said, she didn't have to even return. She would have been free. And if she would have brought nothing, she would have been free.
No, it's just like,
Because that's like a big list of items. I know some of which like you didn't return, which is fine.
yeah.
But like it's actually like surprising that you actually remembered everything what it was because it's like completely itemized. So
She works retail,
I
my
mean,
boy.
before I wrote that down, we like talked about it for a bit. I've been working here for like a year and a half at this point.
okay, so last year
It's her first
around
job.
December time
Um,
is when you started.
well, I guess technically 2 years ago in
2 years.
2023,
Okay,
in August or September.
August of 2023. Okay,
Yeah.
and is that
That's
when
not
you
2
started
years. That's not even
stealing
close.
things from the store? When did that? When was like the first
No.
thing that you were?
I don't remember the first. Probably something like small, like tank top. And then, and I think it was like 2 months into me being hired here.
Okay,
That's
and
immediately 60 days.
It says
So you start stealing as soon as you figured out the system. She's a stone cold thief. I don't know how it is she got caught exactly. She was, like I said, she was working with somebody who knew she was stealing, but couldn't prove it. Probably told on her, and they were like, "Who? Nah." And she called the hotline. She was like, "I told the managers, but they didn't believe me." Nigga, you stole. That's usually when people start stealing. Like 60 days in, bro. That's when I start. I'm not gonna say all of that, but when you start, when you notice, oh, there's no camera here. If I put this under my shirt and go into the restroom, if I do this, I don't have to do that. I could do it like that. I don't have to ring this up. I could just look like I'm ringing up, and I'll put it under a little drawer. Like, bro, you start noticing how to steal if you're actually a thief, bro. Like, well, you might not. It might not. That doesn't necessarily mean you're a thief, but you start making little notes, little mental notes on how you can get away with certain crimes, bro. Especially in the retail environment.
When you were
Mm-hmm.
stealing stuff, you would use like a water bottle or something?
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
I have a thermal water bottle, so you can't see through it. So I'll just like put stuff in there.
You would put it in the water bottle. How big is a water bottle?
It's like a 24-ounce.
You're about to make them change all the company policies.
Okay, and each time, was it always that with that, or were there other methods in how you things?
That or just wearing stuff under my clothes.
Okay. Approximately, do you know how many items that you've stolen in the store?
50 something.
Okay, and
Nigga over here
value,
folding it like a
could you
thief.
estimate how much that was?
What you gonna put them back on the shelf?
To about 1,500, I think. Just
Okay.
under 1,500.
But today you returned. Do you know how many things that you returned?
She just admitted to a felony. She said she stole twice as much as she brought back, like 1,500. I'm not taking this shit back. That's cute. I'm gonna take back half. You think half? They'll let me go with half? No, I think they're gonna lock your dumb ass up if you bring one thing back. Don't even go. Go on the website or call a little hotline and tell them you quit.
Today?
Yeah, about $700 something worth of stuff, but $400 something worth of what they can like resell again.
Okay. Well, why wouldn't they be able to resell the other stuff?
It's been worn. And
Oh, okay. I understand.
Why don't you just...
Okay.
She has stuff for over a year. She still didn't wear it yet. Alright.
Statement here. So items like black leggings, bikini tops.
Oh, she
white
she was wearing
bikinis,
that.
Swimwear. Is there any particular reason why you're stealing all these things?
To not have to pay for them. Some things were for friends.
Okay.
Don't say you resold it.
The stuff that you weren't able
Well, she might answer because I'm curious. Go ahead.
to retrieve, why weren't you able to?
I'm here for college, but my hometown is Orlando, so that's it's just at my house.
So the remainder of the items that aren't here today that you returned are like at your house?
Yeah, you shouldn't have said that. You know why you shouldn't have said that? Because they can get a warrant to go in there and turn this into a felony. You idiot. The second thing I was gonna say that I was curious about was, why didn't you just, if you know that they can't resell certain things, bro, why didn't you just return all the things that you wore and washed? And then sell all the stuff that you didn't wear and wash and get cash for it so there would be no evidence. This is stupid, bro. Now, there would be no way that they could get a warrant for it. But she just admitted to it. She admitted to a felony, and she admitted that she had those items in a different location in her home in Orlando, Florida. Which, yes, the police are thirsty enough to go write that warrant for Orlando PD to go in her house and get those items, bro. They are thirsty enough to do that. She should have... Lawyer, shut up. She just admitted to a felony and gave them enough to turn her into a felon.
South Carolina tag.
She almost just destroyed her life.
And how did they find out?
I have a camera.
Foxtrot
They
Whiskey
have a
Sierra
camera
934 FWS
Did they call you in
934,
today?
Blue,
Yes,
I got
today.
shifts today, so I just came in.
And what did they tell you today? Loss prevention. What did they talk to you about today? Was this your first time hearing about this, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did they say to you today?
they just told me to sit down and we started talking about loss prevention and that they know I've been stealing and then
And this statement that you wrote was voluntarily on your own?
No.
I mean, it was guided, but it's all true and like I would have.
What did she go to school for, bro? What are you going to school for, bro? Let me guess. Cosma definitely not going to school for criminal justice. 110% not. If she's either going to school for cosmetology or psychology or business management. This is a dumb conversation. This is the worst conversation I've ever heard that a criminal has had with a police officer regarding their own crime. I just thought if I'd be totally honest, no, you're gonna go to totally jail.
When you say guided, what do you mean?
Like he asked me questions kind of in like a template format, like okay, the first thing you want to write is your name.
Oh, so just kind of explaining how like the statement goes?
Yeah.
Okay, but everything that you wrote done voluntarily, correct?
Peter Apostoli.
Okay.
No.
Some point, thank you.
All right.
Lawyer.
Do you have
bond.
anything else that you want to add to the statement? Or anything that you think is important for later on? I know it says in here that you're apologetic and stuff, but unfortunately they do want to prosecute, so we do have to go through that process. I'll kind of explain to you where we go from here afterwards, but
Jail.
being that it's a little over $700, $750,
As a felony?
unfortunately you'll probably have to go take the ride today to jail.
Oh
okay?
yeah, for sure.
Marie thinks she was caught on surveillance video. However, loss prevention provides the tip information to the officers.
Fucking asshole. Something in my bones told me that either there was no camera, or the camera didn't work at all. You usually cannot steal from anywhere on camera for a whole year and some change without anyone saying anything. There was no camera footage, and you let them trick you. Why don't you say, oh really? Well, let me see it. Oh really? If that's the case, then how come I'm not under arrest? Where are the police? Call the police. You went, of course, you went right along with it, didn't you? Little bubblehead ass motherfucker.
However, loss prevention provides the tip information to the officers.
On 324, received an anonymous tip from the ethics hotline that stock associate Maria Viles might be committing merchandise theft. The following are the details from the call. Since March 2024, Maria has been stealing clothes that fit in a water bottle at the Hollister store that is located at this store. Over the last year, Maria has sold around 500. No one at the store knows about this situation.
It was either one of her exes. It was either one of her exes or one of her friends that she fell out with. I don't think it was maybe it was a coworker, but now because how they worded it, definitely sounds like a female. Y'all niggas out here.
All we had.
Okay, is that something I can get a copy of?
You can, if you want this case report that we have right here, you can take it, sir.
So right now I'm just waiting for a female officer.
There was no camera footage at all. Somebody snitched on her, bro. And they squeezed her and she popped.
to get here because they gotta search you. We're not allowed
Bro,
to.
she could have kept her job and not went to jail.
And then
And kept your
I'll
clothes.
walk you out to my car. We'll try and do the paperwork and get you up there as soon as you can. That way you can get out in the morning, okay?
Okay.
You said you're 21?
You say you're in school? What school?
Florida Atlantic University,
What are you studying?
criminal justice.
What? You're studying criminal justice and you did this? Bro, I understand that chefs get food poisoning every day, which is unfortunate. Sometimes bartenders drink too much. Sometimes bus drivers get into car accidents. But nigga, you are literally you're going to college. You got loans, grants, and a job to pay for this college. That's why you're stealing now. And you study the law every day, and you didn't use it? This knowledge of the law? Criminal. And what did Aaron Moses say? You got me looking at like I'm stupid, like you. What did I say? She was going to school for cosmetology, business management, or what's the other thing I said? What's the other? We'll just say nursing. I forgot what I said. But what did I definitely say? The first thing I said was, she is definitely not going to school for criminal justice. Bro. You need to lose your scholarship. You definitely do. Not because you committed a crime. No. You're obviously not learning anything, my nigga. I didn't really study the law. I just experienced it and watched a lot of Judge Mathis and Judge Joe Brown and Law and Order. And listened to all the jailhouse lawyers tell stories and break down the law in jail. And I know more about this than you, and you're actively studying. You spent thousands of dollars on books and courses for the past year. And you did this? They didn't have any evidence. You didn't see the footage. You're in here writing unofficial statements. You don't ask, who told you that? Why do you think I'm stealing? Because there's a camera? Nigga, what camera? That camera. There's no camera. It's a hidden camera. Oh, really? I thought it was... It blinks all the time. Nigga, that's a smoke alarm. That's a smoke detector. That's not a hidden camera. You let that man tell you a hidden camera was in a smoke detector and that's the blinking light? No. This woman is dumb. She shouldn't went to school for cosmetology.
What are you trying to do?
It's too late now. Would you want to be a lawyer?
Law enforcement or a lawyer or?
Right now I'm thinking maybe like something with domestic.
Okay. Look, this ain't the end of the world, right? So you're being charged with it, right? You go through the court process. You go through the whole ordeal.
To get it expunged, it's not a felony yet.
You might be able to get this corrected, depending on what the judge sees, and obviously you're a student and stuff. Just take this as a life lesson learned, right? You seem like a great kid, made some bad decisions, and you're in this position now, right? You have nobody else but to blame but yourself, unfortunately. Sometimes when it seems too good to be true, like I'm sure the first few items were like, oh wow, it's easy, right? I kept on going.
My bad.
There's a reason why people get caught. There's a reason why there's police officers. People get caught all the time because it goes on.
You didn't even investigate this crime, bro. You're just taking her to jail. You're just cleaning up what loss prevention did.
Forever.
He did your job.
But this is not bad because there's other people that steal more valuable things, and they're probably looking at a little bit longer, sentences and things like that.
I don't want to hear this stupid ass shit. What happened? Oh, how did that happen?
It's done, but like, what made you think it was a good idea?
Just like, oh, I could save the money and then not getting caught.
Why do you think she stole clothes, bro? She stole clothes because she's a thief and she likes clothes. That's not a... Like,
I haven't done one of those.
And she is a thief, but she didn't steal from any other stores. So she's not that dumb. She didn't go crazy and start stealing from Walmart and Target. So look at 21-year-old with them cute ass socks on. She's been wearing those type of socks since she was in high school, like 2 years ago. I've never seen anybody do that. You just wanted to see her feet, nasty man. Every time I get arrested, I never taken off my socks. They just run their hand under my foot on the top and squeeze between my toes through my socks. You really just wanted to see this woman's feet with them bluey ass socks, bro.
One day work is great.
Turn the socks inside out. You didn't have to do all of that. She got skinny feet. And you wanted to put her shoes back on? Look at you.
Same way we came in? Oh, 1 second.
It's not gonna go off, right? One way to find out, right?
Yeah, you would know.
You got scared, huh? You thought it was. Yeah, I get rid of that shit.
The what?
It only goes out after 5 o'clock. Oh, it is after 5 o'clock.
Oh, you did? What'd you get?
Performance.
Oh, they're gonna key your shit. Model 3
This is
or
a couple months ago. This posted.
Why?
You over here making jokes, chewing gum.
The leasing for
This just happened. She still didn't get sentenced yet.
Marie Aviles was charged with felony grand theft and felony organized.
What? Oh, felony. Oh, Florida is tweaking, man. Felony grand theft and felony organized crime. Are they gonna charge her with a RICO too? They're gonna give her a year probation.
Marie Aviles was charged with felony grand theft and felony organized fraud under $20,000.
Yeah. You know why? It's probably a felony. Because she told them that she committed a felony.
On January 5th, 2022
Why?
in
I don't know
Ohio,
why my computer's
police
doing this
responded
today.
to reports of a woman attempting to skip payment.
The reason that they charged her with a felony, well, more than likely not because, because they didn't have the evidence. All they had was, I'm guessing, let me see. How much has to be? Probably over 500. Let me ask ChatGPT. Just hold on real quick. How much merchandise has to be stolen in the state of Florida for it to be a felony?
In the state of Florida, for merchandise theft to be...
Oh, she's an idiot. It needs to be 750. Bro, if she would have just let out one pair of panties, one shirt, one pair of socks, one shirt, Bro, if she would have just left out one item, she would have been in the clear. But I'm thinking that's pretty specific that she brought back that much. She brought back 44 items. You know what I think? I think the managers threw in some merch, calculated, they were like, oh, 700? Let's throw in a couple more items. Make this a felony. Mess her life up, because she had us looking stupid. And she still has more stuff at her house. But then she admitted that it was only half, which is, you can't really count that because they don't have the physical, tangible evidence. Bro, if she would have just brought in like 3 items, she brought in 44 items with her dumb ass. Criminal justice. Try something. It's not working out, baby. Try something else. Criminal justice. Going to school ass. It's Aaron Moses. Make sure you like this video. I'm the band, you the band, we the band together, man. Life is in the breath. Breathe it in. Peace.